Hello everyone, welcome to our practical Thursday. Okay, so before we get into our lab, let me show you something really fun. Okay, so I learned that from people in our class. It's really smoky today and really cloudy. I think it's due to the fire. And you can see from our GIS, from our satellites, how close fire it is, to us. Okay, so you can see I'm using the same platform as we are going to use in our lab. That is called ArcGIS. ArcGIS. If you open the link in the third question, I guess, the last question, you will see that is from Education Maps arcgis.com. So ArcGIS is a company. Okay, it's like a brand of GIS software. But what GIS stands for? GIS stands for, let me annotate, Geographic Information System. Okay, GIS. So basically we use computer system to study geographic information. Geographic information, what's that? That is anything about our Earth, including wildfires, right? So you can see here, if you first load it in our lab, you will see this. You will see the legend. That is your map legend, right? I bet you read in your textbook. That is one thing you need to show your readers, show your audience on your map, the map keys, right? But if you switch to content, you will see, well, you have three layers, three, items listed here. Actually, they correspond with different layers on your map, okay? So you can turn that on and off. For example, I'm asking you to explore those 5 places in Yosemite, but you can turn that off, right? It's just this data layer. So they organize the data into layers. And this is basically the USA topo map, which is really cool because they can change according your scale, your zoom in, zoom out scale. So you can see here, we are really close up, right? You see very, very detailed, those brownish lines. What are they, right? Contour lines. But when you zoom out, you can see this, smaller scale, larger space actually is another version in terms of scale of topographic map developed by USGS, US Census Geologic Survey. Okay, but if you don't like it, Jane is too cluttered or it's not pretty at all, I don't want to see it, you can turn that off. Then you will see the base map. Okay, the base map in ArcGIS. If you say, Jing, can we change that to satellite? That is a wild idea, but yes, we can. Okay, if you click on the base map right here, okay, you can see you have so many options. Okay, for example, here we change that to imagery, that is our satellites. Okay, and you will be able to see the true Earth, the true color, right? So for example, I think this one is Yosemite, no. Oh, this is El Capitan. Yes, let's go there. Okay, and you can see, wow, you can see this is a huge cliff, right? Right here is a huge cliff. Okay, and then if we turn on this one, oh, we cannot see that because you can see it's grayed out. Okay, so you can see here, you can change the base map. You can toggle that on and off to see, same features, but represented, depicted in different way, right? Here, let me show you another cool thing. You can also, sign up an account, okay, an account. So for example, here, I'm using my account right here. Jing is right here, okay? So if you sign in, let me first show you this. Okay, opening a new tab. Okay, so I have this institution account, but if you want to join our institution account, let me know. But you can just set up a free account. This one is mainly for my GIS class. Okay, and you can see when you log in, you can just click on map because I want to create a map about our fire. Okay, so you click on it. And then you can see you have a default base map, right? You can change that, to imagery like this, okay, like this. And Jane, I want to add some data. I want to add some layer about our fire. Where I can find it? Well, you just click on this add, and you go to search for layers. Search for layers, okay. And I don't have fire in my content. Okay, so let's go to this so-called ArcGIS Online, or you can also explore this Living Atlas. Okay, but ArcGIS Online give you a larger database to search, so I usually go there. And let's help ArcGIS with some keywords. Okay, so for example, wildfire. Okay, so you can see here current wildfire, okay, and fire parameters, that is from so-called fire, call fire. Okay, here, let me clear my annotate. Okay, and this is another, created by Esri, but I want the one with the satellite. Okay, hold on, I think I searched for fire in the previous, yes. I search for fire, and you can see here, I have this one, satellite. That satellite is called VIRS, V-I-I-R-S, thermal hotspot fire activity. So that detected by our satellite, okay, developed by NASA, okay, and you can see, this one is the sensor on these, satellites during the last 7 days. You have another one, it's actually called MODIS. Okay, this one. MODIS is another sensor on our satellites. And that one detect, let's see, I believe 48 hours. The last 48 hours. Okay, the fire they detected. So you can add this one to map. Okay, here we go. That is in the last 48 hours, the active fires, guys, active fires. Let's zoom into where? Los Angeles. Okay, it's right here.
Professor Jing, I have a question.
Yes.
I joined a little bit late, so I wanted to know if I'm supposed to do this alongside with you.
No. I just want to show you some, cool application about this ArcGIS, this GIS platform.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So, well, people say it's smoky. Well, this is how it close our fire is. It's in the Angeles, the mountains. Okay. Yeah, it's right here. It's right here. And you can click on each link, and you can see the information caught by MODIS. And you can also compare it to another data that is from VIRS, that satellites. And I think this one is more, cover in the past 7 days. So you can see we have a huge fire burnout over here, okay? And you can see Pasadena and here and there, okay? A few spots. Yeah, I know. Where do you live? I live in Santa Monica. I bet, when the land breezes, it can also blow the smoke down here. I cross my fingers this year, our Santa Monica mountains will be safe. Okay, so people wear your mask. wear a mask. You can protect yourself from virus and also smoke. All right, okay. So let me switch to our lecture, okay? So last time, I think we stopped it here, right? And with our map scales, right? So map scale is a ratio, okay? Here is a ratio. What is a ratio? It's a fraction, right? It's 1 to something, a number. So we say large scale or small scale. That means this ratio is large or small, okay? So, well, you can see if the number at the bottom is really big, right? The denominator is really big, then this ratio will be what? Will be small. So that's why we call, if you zoom out, that is a small scale map. And you can see it can cover larger space. You can see entire, lower 48, the states, okay? But when you zoom in, you actually use that one unit of measurement, whatever unit you want, right? You can use inch, you can use centimeter, depends on your ruler, right? But to represent shorter distance. So the one at the bottom will become smaller, okay? The number at the bottom will become smaller. That will give you a larger ratio. So that's why we call those maps large scale map. And you can see more details because you use 1 inch to show people shorter distance. You can squeeze in more information, right? And, but you cover smaller area, okay? So this basically is the scale. The key to use this scale to for your calculation, okay, is here, okay? This ratio is actually the definition, the definition of the map scale. So map scale here, map scale, okay, equals to, it's a ratio, okay? So I need to draw a line right here, okay? That is the comparison, the ratio between two distance, right? Two length. So the first length, we need to put on the top, distance measured on map. It can be, any unit, by the way. It can be any unit. It depends on your ruler, okay? And the number at the bottom, it should be another distance, okay? Represented, okay? The line you draw on the map represent how long the distance represented on ground. The real distance, in other words, okay? The real distance represented on the ground. It's just this ratio, okay? And you can plug in your number here, okay? So for example, here, text, your ratio is what? 1 to say 250,000. So that is 1 on the top, right? And here, over, okay, another one, 250,000, okay? But here is the key, guys. I want your attention. Those two numbers, because it's a ratio, it's like 1/3, 4/5. There's no unit, okay? This ratio, map scale, has no unit, which also means you can use any unit you want as long as you use the same unit for both top number and bottom number, your numerator and your denominator, okay? So for example, here on the top, if you want to use inches, at the bottom, the distance represented on ground, you also need to put it as inches. I know that will be a big number, okay? But you need to keep using the same unit. You can use centimeter, you can use meter, whatever number you want, whatever unit you want, but you need to use the same unit, okay? Later, you can ask Professor Google, right? Turn that big number, you know, how many, whatever inches you got, to miles, okay? That's the key idea. Any questions? No? Okay, all right. So here, let me clean my drawing. Okay, I think that's the I think it's most confusing one on our lab. But let's see. Let me stop share. Okay, now I see. Okay, all right. So let me switch to our lab. And let me share, just to share the screen. Okay. Okay. All right. So that is your lab question number 2. Okay. Map T1 on the next page shows part of the island of Hawaii, okay, with a map scale of this, okay? And well, first, I ask you to use your ruler, to measure the distance from Petro cabin to the rest house, okay? And I have this, you know, screenshot, you know, for from our Hawaii topographic map, okay? Well, here, Maggie yesterday asked this perfect question. Professor Ching, when I zoom in, zoom out, the number changes, you know, my ruler, the measurement changes. How should I do? I forgot one thing. People, please stay with 100%, you know, zoom in level. Don't zoom in, zoom out. So basically, you have to stay with 100% in your not ArcGIS, in your Word document, okay? And then at this zoom in level to measure the distance between, annotate here, between, let's see, let me draw a line, Petro cabin, I think it's here. Okay, all the way to rest house is here. Okay, and whatever number you have, that is your number, that is your measurement. Okay, yes, all right. Okay, and yeah, and that is the key. Okay, and then the rest of the question will be, you know, to just use the measure the equation I just showed you on our slides, okay, and then to do the calculation, okay. So for example, this case, whatever number you measure, 4 inches, okay, on your map, but represent how long the distance, question mark, right, equals to this ratio. Let me change here, equals to this ratio. Then, you know, you need to do some, you know, something called cross multiply, but I will save that for your group discussion. Okay, so any questions here?
Professor, can we
Yes.
print this out and write on
Yes.
it and then
Yes,
scan it and send
of
it that way?
course. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Of course. You can print it out. Guys, if you want, you can print it out and to do the measurement on your paper, but later, please scan it, you know, and turn that to PDF, and then we can, you can submit online, okay?
Okay, great, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, so this is this question, okay? The first question is really easy, but a lot of fun. We are using not Google Map. This time we use Google Earth. This actually is my toy, the toy of a geographer. When I get bored, I play with, you know, GIS and also Google Earth. Okay, let me go there. Google Earth. This actually is a new thing, new online software developed by Google. Okay, you know, in the good old days, you have to install Google Earth on your own computer, but not now. As long as you have a browser like a Chrome, like Firefox, like a Microsoft Edge, you can always access Google Earth, you know, with a browser, you know, here on in your browser. Okay. So you can see, I really like this here. When they load it, when they are loading, oh, they skip that. Okay, they delete my favorite thing. When it's loading, it always say 4.6 billion years is loading. You know, that is the history of the Earth. But anyways, okay. So you can see here, default location, I think because you know, connecting to the server in my school in Madison. So the default setting is here, Chicago, okay? But you can also, you know, this is my favorite thing. You can spin the Earth around, you know. Let's switch to Dubai. You know, next weekend I'm going to fly there, cross my fingers. My flight will be still on. So that is UAE, United Arabic Emirates, okay? And let me show you my hotel, maybe the week after next, okay? After December 7th, I will be teaching our class from here. So you can see those islands, actually people built it. You know, Emirates people built it, and here is my hotel. I think it's here. Yes.
Professor,
Yes.
for how long are you staying in Dubai?
2 weeks, actually more than 2 weeks, 17 days. My next flight from Dubai to LA will be October the 7th. It's really weird. I booked my flight on the 6th, but for no reason, the Emirates, the company, the airline, they just email me, your flight has been changed, moved to October 7th. I'm like, okay, I need to book another night. Okay, anyways, I think this building is my hotel. Okay, this building is my hotel. Well, I want to know my coordinates. So let's see. Okay, so if you click on here, you will focus. Can I add a push pin? Yes, I add a push pin, and this is my location. Okay, select a location, and you can see here. Huh. Let's just save. Okay, and you can see here. Let me change. Oh yeah, the coordinate changes. Okay, looks like yes. Okay, so you can see if you have some push pin, I think Marina Gym, yes, this is my location. Okay, so here, if you click on any spot, you can find the coordinates. Where to find the coordinates? The coordinates is in the address box. It's right here. Okay, do you see my highlight? Right here. Oh.
Professor, what's the order of those numbers? Like, what is?
That's a very good question, Cole. Yes. Okay. Or the order here is for UAE is really confusing. Which one is longitude? Which one is latitude? Right? But for LA, no. For LA is no. So let's use LA here. Let me show you. So you can see here in the address box, not LA, I'm sorry, Chicago. Okay, you have the first number 41, you have the second number negative. Then I immediately know the second number on Google Earth must be longitude because here we cannot put W, or well, maybe they can, but they choose to use, you know, negative numbers to represent Western Hemisphere. You know, Chicago is in Western Hemisphere. It's in our country, right? And the first number is latitude. So for my place in UAE, right here, it must be this number, the first one. That is your latitude, how far it is from equator, okay? And the second one is your longitude. Well, it's confusing because it's also positive because it's in the northern hemisphere, but in the eastern hemisphere, I'm sorry, in the eastern hemisphere, okay?
Thank you so much.
You're
I have
welcome.
a question.
Yes.
Do we have to write out the whole number, or do you want us to round?
You have to write the whole number, because if you round, that will be way off, guys. So for example, I rounded the first one, like let's round it to 25. Okay, let's see where it is. Oh,
Not round like that, like.
not round like that. Yes, you can see here 25. It's somewhere, let's see. Yes, it's here. It's here. But if you round the longitude right here. Come on. Okay, I will end up in the ocean, in the Persian Gulf. Though that's my dream. I actually, you know, carry my swimming suit. I want to swim in Persian Gulf, if they allow me to do that. Okay, so that is the first question, you know, the really fun tip, how to figure out how to hack, right? The coordinates from Google Earth. Okay, so, well, I give you a few locations here. Okay, Los Angeles, that's home. Okay, Tokyo, Japan in Western, Eastern Hemisphere, Northern and Southern Hemisphere. Okay, try out. And your favorite place you mark on our map, okay? And if you go back to revisit our map, you will see how diverse this class is, okay? I appreciate it, okay? All right, thank you guys. And the last question is using GIS platform, okay? So if you click on this link, you will have this map loaded. Well, let me change back to our base map. Oh, let me turn this one on. That's it. Let me change back to the base map. Maybe just topographic.
Professor, I was just wondering, when we are finding the latitude and longitude for like Sydney, do we just choose like a random place or somewhere like kind of central?
Where?
Like, where's the exact? Like for like Sydney, for all of them, since there's no exact point for Singapore, like there's so many different.
Oh, yeah. Right, so different people will have different number, yes. You can
cool.
just, pick the city center or some landscape. For example, Tokyo, you can pick Fuji Mountains.
Perfect, thank you.
Yes, explore, guys, explore. As a geographer, you know, we want to explore. You always pick the window seat, you know, on your flight. Okay, so that is Yosemite hidden treasures. So, you know, normal tourists, they don't, you know all this history. They don't know all these hidden treasures, but let's explore them on the map, okay? So when you zoom in, when you log in, open this map, you will see 5 places, okay? And you can click on each push pin here, and you can click on the image to open this cool website. It's called Historical Images from our National Park Service, okay? You can see, well, people dancing on the cliff, guys. Look at those women. how beautiful, how brave, how awesome they are, right? And another favorite is this lady, Lucy, with her baskets. See? Oh my gosh, those pictures make me laugh and also sometimes cry, but they're beautiful. Okay, so click on this image. You will see more, you know, historic images associated with Yosemite. Okay, we all, you know, appreciate a landscape, but also the history. That is a core in geography. Geography study the home of people. Okay, we have beautiful living environment. We also have beautiful culture. Okay, and if you click on here, you can see the original image. This one is really, you know, bold. Okay, or you know, people guard, you know, Yosemite under these redwoods. I cross my fingers for our redwoods because of the wildfire. But you can see they can be so big. You can run, you know, you can have some cabin, right, under this. It's really cool. Okay, so explore it and then answer my question. I put it here. Okay, from west to east, what are those push pins? Push pins represented. You just need to record the names. Okay, and for the second one, what do the smooth brownish parallel line around the map represent? What I'm talking about actually is those, you know, brownish lines. Okay, those brownish lines you can see, and that is what I will leave that, okay, for you. Okay, and when you zoom in, you also see those bluish lines, right? I'm asking bluish lines. Yes, blue, squiggy, okay, those lines, what are they? Okay, those blue lines, okay, what are they? Okay, you interpret it, okay, and then here, yeah, and click on the button at the bookmark right here, bookmarks, okay, and you can find those places. You actually can navigate here and there, okay, from Yosemite, from Half Dome, from El Capitan, from, you know, campground, okay, the level. And you can see here different places. You actually have different, you know, contour line, the patterns, right? For example, here we are at, I think that is a campground. It's really flat. And you can see, oh, we don't have, you know, those lines. Okay, and my bookmark tells me it's level, it's flat. But if you go to El Capitan, it's really steep. We see that on our satellite image, right? Okay, so let me clear my drawings. And you can see this is the top of that cliff, but here, over here, you can see how busy the contour lines are. How busy the contour lines are. So that represent a huge cliff, and you can calculate how high that cliff is. Okay, you know, someone climbed up this El Capitan last year. He's also vegan. He eat a bunch of banana and just climb from the bottom to the top. I forgot that guy's name, but it's, yeah, he's just so strong, just based on the, you know, plants. Okay, so I think that is the thing. For the rest of 3 questions, I want you to describe the pattern of your brownish lines. How the brownish line, you know, show up, describe how busy or they are very spacing out, okay, to represent different terrain. Okay, for a cliff, for a mountain, see how they represent Half Dome, the mountains. Okay, so this is our Half Dome. Okay, so you see the mountains, it's like a circle, right? Okay, it's like our slides right here. This is your volcanoes. You can see if you draw the line with the same elevation, you press that down, that is circle, right? Okay, so I think that all the tips I want to share with you. Okay, any questions before I sign into the breakout room? So today's group discussion is you can discuss, the things up on your lab, or you can also discuss the topics in your group for your essay. Okay, I received a few emails from your classmates. Excellent question, excellent question. But also, yeah, feel free to send me the message to, clarify any your questions. Okay. All right, so if you don't have, let me stop recording first. Stop recording.